of all, there's no pricing policy in real estate in this Nigeria. It's very ridiculous. Anybody can just bring up now and say, okay, I built this slice of house, I want to give you for. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sure. And then service charge is also one thing that actually, takes up people money. You hear service charge of like 500k, 1 million. What's it happen? So if power, when I say power, now I mean light, So if power wasn't a problem in Nigeria, how would the real estate industry still be impacted if power wasn't a problem? Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of SME Chat. My name remains Oluwadamilola Ibitoye, and today we are live with the owners of iTech Properties, Bode and Toba. Hello, Bode and Toba. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
You guys are repping Ileri, is it Ileri Residentials now?
Yeah, Ileri Residentials.
Interesting. How are you guys doing today?
You're doing fine, you're doing great.
How has iTech Properties been, really?
Thank God.
Okay, so can you tell us about iTech Properties? We would like to know what iTech Property actually is.
Okay, so iTech Properties is a real estate company that we infuse technology into real estate. So what that means is we know we've been seeing lately companies coming together to say yes, they want to be putting tech into their real estate, but we are trying to be indigenous. So there's a real estate arm and there's a tech arm of the company. So what we're trying to do is we bring in the tech features that we always hear or see people talk about. We bring into all of our projects and development. So that's basically what iTech is all about.
So, and how has that been so far? Because tech and real estate in time past, they usually are not two industries put together, I think.
Yeah, sure.
But now it feels like the industries have been merged. So how has tech been able to particularly influence the real estate space?
Okay, so basically we've been seeing some tech features in mostly all the estates in Lagos, for example. I mean, you want to gain access to an estate, they will tell you to generate a code, or they will try to assess you from the gate before you could go in. And there's some other estates too that they run basically their utilities within the estates via an app or system for all of the users. So basically, technology has been finding its way into real estate. And so we are trying to make sure that all of those features that we see, maybe in one estate or the other, we're trying to put all of them together in one app. And then we call it community management software app. So anything you could think of, any tech features you could think of, will be in the app, and then everybody can access it. It's going to be user friendly and all of this stuff. So
okay, so is because I know that there are a lot of automated houses these days. So automation of houses, is it also part of
sure, it's a
tech
feature. Yeah, sure.
Because you can actually take out the automation of houses out of the tech. So it's inside of it.
I find it very interesting because imagine I'm just sitting now in my house. There's this joke that one of the reasons why people want to have children is because who would they send to go and bring the remotes?
Right.
They send to
So at the comfort of you sitting, you can just say remote,
or Alexa or something. Play me, something like so. I think I find it very interesting actually. So, how then did you coin the name iTech? Because anybody who hears iTech, for instance, thinks that it's a tech company until you see that it's iTech Properties. Do you get what I mean? So how did you come about the name, and has there been any confusion with people, or rather has there been any confusion in the name of your company actually passing the right message it's supposed to pass in terms of property?
See, the first thing you need to know is for you to give any company a name, you need to know what is the main thing we want to achieve with this particular company. Yeah, we know that this is a property selling company. Do you get? But what we want to use as a standing out feature is the tech feature. So we actually sat down and be like, okay, what name can we give to it?
Yeah.
Some people were giving them suggestion of tech, so we just came to our mind that why not iTech? But in the initially, what we wanted to use was HITECH, the high tech. But along the line, we discovered that so many people have been using this name. If you go online and search, you see so many HI tech. So we don't okay, why not just remove the H and leave the high, then the tech, then the property? So giving it iTech properties. When you hear the high tech, you know that it's something about tech.
Yeah.
Then the property, you know that infusing tech into property. So it is not confusing.
So you're saying that there's not been any of your, because I believe that the name of your company needs to pass the message of the service or products that you're trying to sell or put out there, right? So because if I hear high tech, I'm thinking, oh, it's a technology company, it's a tech company. So is it that there's never been any challenge with customers or your target audience as to misconception of what you actually do?
No, there has never been, to be honest, because there is no way you're going to call high tech and you won't put the properties. And if anybody should hear that high tech properties, the only confusing thing they could have is maybe they are confusing it with maybe don't really do the tech thing. But when you hear high tech properties, we know that we are infusing tech into properties.
Yeah.
And you can even ask us, we will explain to you that this is what.
Fair enough. Sure. Okay, so you guys are in a very interesting partnership, and not many partnership businesses these days survive for several reasons, for some personal interest, for some conflict of interest, in fact. So how has your partnership been so far?
Well, smooth. I mean, we've been together for quite a number of years, and life generally is about relationship.
Yeah.
So we've built smooth relationship over a long period of time. So coming together was really not a big deal. And coming from the experiences we've had in various fields, I'm a certified estate manager, he's a certified computer scientist. So we're like, guys,
let's just bring our heads together.
Like, guys, just put this thing together. So it was just a smooth ride till we get here.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I need to say something about that too, because you're just seeing high-tech properties that this guy are partnering with to come up with high-tech properties. Trust me, we have partnered in so many businesses, more than 2, though we failed.
I mean, failure is part of life, truly. Failure is part of life.
Though we failed. So, and just the way we have built relationship over time, I don't think there is anything any of us want to do and we won't consult the other person. Alpha, this is an idea. Let's do this. Okay, is it good? Because English people used to say that 2 good heads are better than 1.
True.
So if you think you can actually do it alone, then you're lying to yourself.
True.
So consult the other person. Alpha, this idea dey grand though. Alpha, it go plumb.
So if we run anyhow, if you no plumb, we go rerun again.
No, we have failed in the past. So failing is actually not. We're not scared to fail again.
Absolutely, you shouldn't be.
So if he tells me of you, I should tell him that okay, this thing is a goal for us. Let's do it. We just put our mind. We're positive about it. Along the line, if we fail, we just take it as a lesson. Okay, let's move on to the next stage.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah, that's how we should actually be. So what made you guys go into real estate in the first place? Because like me, I always say, I know real estate is a lucrative business, right? It's a lucrative business for a lot of reasons.
The answer is very simple. We want to make money.
To make money. Okay, fine. I mean, to make money, quite alright. But then again, even in every line of career, there's always a place of passion.
Yeah, actually.
Did you get what I mean?
Okay.
So, what exactly?
Let me answer that. Let me answer that. Yeah. So the number one reason, I will say another reason, but the number one reason we actually ventured into real estate is we want to make profit.
Yeah.
There you get. But along the line, we discovered that how are we going to make profit or how are we going to make money without giving value?
Yeah.
Because we are not going to steal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you are not going to point gun at people say that start bringing your money. So what value can we offer? Even the real estate did not even come to our mind then. We only said we want to make money. We just want to make money. Okay, how can we make money? Okay, people are buying this, people are buying that. But what are people really buying now? Discover that people are buying real estate. Okay, if you should venture into real estate, are we really giving them value? Because it is only when people see value in whatever they want to do, they will then give you money. You can't just tell them, bring your money. They will ask you, why should I give you my money? But if you can tell them categorically that this is the value I will be offering you, you don't really need to tell them to pay. They will know they have to pay. So you offer value and they give you money. In a nutshell, we want to make profits by rendering services and giving value. Yeah, I think.
All right. So in real estate, first of all, there's no pricing policy in real estate in this Nigeria. It's very ridiculous. Anybody can just spring up now and say, okay, I built this slice of house.
I'm
I
going
want
to
to give you
give
for.
you
Do you understand what I'm saying?
sure.
And then service charge is also one thing that actually, you know, takes up people money. You hear service charge of like 500k, 1 million. Like, what's it happen? So if power, yeah, when I say power, and I mean light, yeah. So if power wasn't a problem in Nigeria, how would the real estate industry still be impacted if power wasn't a
Not
problem?
if there was power, yeah, not only real estate would benefit. Let's start from the aspect of every businesses. Show me one business that doesn't really run on power in this Nigeria. Then I will show you an elephant that twerks.
Word.
So everything in this Nigeria, everything in the country runs on power. So if there's power, look at the way it is now. You have to spend a lot of money on power. And if power is very constant, then so many things that are expensive won't even be expensive.
Sure.
Because for you to come up with any cost you want to come up with, there are so many things you consider. Expenses, which power or buying of fuel and other things are part of it. But if this one is out of it, then everything won't be expensive.
Right. I believe so, because I believe that if power is not the problem, things will not be, especially in real estate, because I cannot possibly be renting or buy, let's even say renting an apartment for maybe 3 million
And then
naira
you're paying a service charge.
or like 1 million naira. Is it not
Very,
ridiculous?
And then what takes the money is just for.
It's
power
really
is like
ridiculous.
70%.
It's really
And
ridiculous.
that is where iTech comes in.
I mean, pushes
that
me
is
to my
where-
next question, actually.
That is where we come in.
So what sets iTech properties as, I mean, apart from every other property or real estate firm in Nigeria?
Well, so many things actually, because one of the things that we thought of and then we were like, okay, this is going to be like the future of real estate,
Yeah.
right? So one of our core feature is renewable energy. So we say we want to give uninterrupted power supply.
Yeah.
I cannot. If I say that I'm going to give you uninterrupted power supply, I need to come up with not one, not two, not three ways to make that happen, because NEPA will not work. I can't promise you 24 hours when there's no power supply from the government. So we need to think of so many ways around it. So we're looking at, okay, there's the solar energy, there's other forms of energy. I mean, I know of some estates that have even left diesel buying, fuel buying, they are strictly on gas and solar. So that could help. They could conveniently run on 24 hours power. So we are looking at giving renewable energy to make sure that, okay, that augments power supply. And other features that we are having is the access control for visitors and then for people that reside in the estate. Then more to that, we are looking at having a control system, a management system for every user. So you could pay your utility bills on the app, you could lay your complaints on the app, and then everybody, all the artisans, contractors, whatever, would get your messages like ASAP, then they switch to action. And it's going to be run on the back end. So some set of people will be running the whole app 24 hours, so they see what is going on part time. And then we are also looking at, because it's going to start next year, like they're going to launch the app next year. So investors too will be able to track their portfolios. So what that means is, if I say I invest in Ileri, last year I pay 1.5 million naira, and we say, okay, your investment is now worth 3.5 million naira. How do we get to that value? You know, it's so cliche that people just say, you bought this one, is not this one, but they need to track how it happened. So developmental milestone is going to be on the app, that you see that, okay, these people did this from the time I invested to this time. So yes, this is how they got the recent value of what is happening. So they begin to see it in real time, what we are doing with their money, how their investment is going. And so when we say, okay, this investment is worth this amount of money, they can easily tell people to that, yes, I know how we got to this figure. So those are the things that we are trying to do for both investors and then people that will reside in the estates eventually.
Okay, so when you talk about estate now, I'm assuming that iTech is trying to develop like different estates in different places. So for every estate that iTech Properties businesses develop, you have all of this.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually very, very interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Very interesting. Okay, so tell me about Ekpe, because there's been a lot of noise about Ekpe. You know, in fact, it feels like everybody that I know that is doing property right now, everybody just saying, "Oh, buy land in Ekpe, buy land." I mean, for understandable reasons, because I mean, there's a refinery coming there, or that is already there. In fact, so I mean, it only makes sense. But can you tell me more about Ekpe and why you think that we should actually invest in Ekpe and the project you're also doing in
Ekpe?
So I think Ekpe, you understand. You really don't need to start telling people about Ekpe anymore because it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. I could remember then, though maybe they haven't even given birth to me then, I can't really tell. But then the awareness that Ekpe is getting now was not really available for Ikoyi then. So many people did not really keen to Ikoyi as of then. But now I think the awareness is here. Yeah. Some people used to say that there's one, like, the notion is actually not correct, but I will try and correct it now.
Okay.
They used to say that Ekpe is the new Lagos. How is that correct? Ekpe is Lagos already.
Yeah.
So Ekpe is not the new Lagos. You can say that because Lagos is a state that houses Ekpe and other cities.
Yeah.
Do you get? So we can say that Ekpe is the new Ikoyi. You see, I think that sounds nice.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And for you to be able to like buy a property or know what's actually going on when it comes to property, number one thing you need to look at is what is this location? Okay, the location is Ekpe. What development is coming to this location? I could remember 4 years ago. Was it 5 years ago? Okay, I can't really remember the years, but because my mom is from Ekpe.
Oh, interesting.
So I used to go to Ekpe like once in a year then to do all this festive season. Yeah. So when we're going, the road is always bad. Obviously, always bad. But within the space of like 3 years, because I didn't just go to Ekpe for like 2 years. So the third year, I wanted to go and do something in Ekpe, and I discovered that all the road that leads to Ekpe is tarred. Like I nearly lost my way. Do you get? So I was like, damn, it means the infrastructure that we have been looking for is actually coming to Ekpe. So when I had someone tell me then, because obviously 3 years ago, I-Tech had not even been vetted. So someone told me then that a plot of land in Ekpe is like 6 million naira. I'm talking about Ekpe Buka. A plot of land is like 6 million naira. How? So the person had to tell me the reason because the person had to tell me the reasons for all of this because people are already there. The road tired, everything is beautiful.
I see.
Do you get? So this is one of the reasons why, even if you should tell your investor that, see, come and invest in Ekpe, come and do this in Ekpe, come and do that in Ekpe. They really don't need to do a lot of check before they can believe you because, like I said earlier, it is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. Ekpe is the new song. Do you get? So that's
and more to that. I noticed something when we were going into Ekpe to start development. The noise that we've been hearing, the whole this is coming up, that is coming up. When I got into Ekpe and we drove around, what I noticed was there's this development that has been done by privately owned individuals. So, I mean, when I was learning about business, when we want to say we want to do business, I got to know that the best person that can handle a business well is somebody that has been trained to invest. So what that means is, if I invest my 1 naira, I'm looking for how to make my 1 naira 10 naira.
True.
Do you understand? So I looked at the people that have invested here. They have good track records. Dangote have a very nice track record of investing, and 100% is getting his money back times 1,000. So I saw Dangote has done great things in Ekpe. I saw some other companies too that have partnered with Dangote. Some other companies, international companies, have been partnered with the Lagos State, and they are doing great things. And I'm like, guys, you guys are not seeing what I'm saying. So, I mean, when I got into Lagos, people started selling Ibeju, the refinery, and it was looking like propaganda. But I'm like,
actually.
this is Dangote, guys. This guy does not do propaganda. He's going to do it. Don't worry. There was a time he even went low on cash, and people were like, this thing's going to crash. I said, no.
Because I remember I've been hearing this Ekpe for a long time, and people are saying, yeah, because of Dangote refinery. I'm like,
It really came true, and people were like, wow. So the whole Ekpe is the new, this one. Ekpe nobody needs to tell you much, because privately owned companies are there, they are doing great things, so they want their money back, so they will do everything possible to make that place a big place for their investment to grow. So Ekpe is real Ekpe.
Alright, so before I get to my next question, I'm just going to ask a few more questions to this. And how do you, as a real estate, I don't know if I should say as a real estate investor now or as a real estate company, how do you know which property to invest in, or even if it's a land or environment, how do you know what area can bring in more profit, or more area that that if an infrastructure comes here, it's actually going to boom and stuff? So how do you identify those things?
Okay, I'll give an example. So we were shown like 4 places before we eventually picked where we settled for our first project. So I mean, it's Ekpe. In fact, the first person that showed me a place was like, you can sell anywhere in Ekpe. But more to that, we have what we are looking for. We have strategic location in mind. So when they showed us this particular place that we are, I first saw the Lagos State Food and Logistics Park, like just adjacent this place. And I'm like, now at the time, they were not selling, there was no news about the Lagos Food and Logistics Hub. I mean, I got to know it because somebody told me about it. Then it was Augustine University, the university side of Ekpe, that was selling at the time. So estates were more on that side. So I asked myself, like, in another 5 years, universities or properties around university location is just going to be for some certain set of people. People that want to invest in maybe hostels and whatnot. But this is a project that will house commercial activities, like industrial activities. Now, we need to see what this place is going to bring in another 5-10 years. So then we settle for that. To be very honest with you, that has been one of the big, what's the word now? One of the big things that's actually catapulted our investments, because what we projected was a 1-year run.
Yeah.
Before we could get 100% ROI. But now, just because of that,
6 months.
the first time the governor announced that project, the sales we made that week was massive.
Are you serious?
Because, I mean, I would like to, people now started trooping in. I mean, I've had calls that, okay, you guys have brought in traffic to this area, you guys have done this, you guys have done that. But it was because, okay, we sat down, we said, okay, we need strategic location. We know that everybody's shouting Ekpe, but I mean, be strategic.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things that we will say that, okay, we have in mind, that we know that, okay, this place is actually very profitable. And yes, if you are going to say in the scale of profits, which one is better, then you put strategic to location.
Right. Interesting. All right. Thank you very much. We'll go on a very short break now. When we return, we'll continue our conversation with the owners of iTech Properties. In today's dynamic global economy, small and medium enterprises stand as unsung hero, playing a pivotal role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities for millions. Now, according to the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to absorb the growing workforce. And believe me when I tell you that the SMEs will be the major employer. My name is Oluwadamilola Ibituri, and I'm on a mission to uncover and reveal the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are changing the game in the business world. I'll be sitting down with passionate and innovative business leaders as they share their journeys, challenges, futuristic plans, and successes. SME Chats, spotlighting inspiring entrepreneurs, one episode at a time. Hello and welcome back. You are still watching SME Chat, and today we're sitting with the owners of iTech Properties, Bode and Toba. So, Bode and Toba, do you think that mortgage system can actually work in Nigeria? And does iTech Properties actually offer that particular service?
No, we don't.
Why?
And, the reason is, when I took a project sometimes last year with 1 or 2 companies, so it was a partnership project. So they partnered with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. I don't know if I get that name right. So it was supposed to be a 30 years payment plan, and our target audience were actually the low income earners. In fact, we had a campaign for the markets people, traders, and all of those stuff. But when we started the campaign and we saw the clients that we are building, it's actually the average and high income earners that are actually keen into the projects. And then I just thought of it like, I think it's more of the government, but like primarily our problem too, because sensitization is part of the problem that is making people not even key into it.
Yeah.
So that's on the people parts. On the public parts, we don't really know what it is. We don't really want to even buy it. We don't want to buy the idea and all of that. But the government too has not really pumped in money in that regard, that
to make it work.
So it will be accessible to all, just like we have banks everywhere.
Yeah.
You could walk into the bank. I mean, there's soft loans, there's SME loans and all of those stuff. So there's supposed to be an awareness for everybody that, okay, see, there's a mortgage for house. Like, you guys can just walk in, get this thing, and then you're good. You don't have to be learned or be in some certain class or status to have access to those things. So from my end, I mean, I see it not working until the whole government is really, really established.
So that's why you think that, even because from what you said now, from the project you embarked on some time back, your target audience was the low-income earners. So is that the reason why you think the low-income earners did not get on board?
Yes.
Because they were not fully informed.
Fully informed about it. So they felt like, I mean, one woman even actually said, that 25 years, 30 years, what if she dies? So
there's a possibility of that, actually.
But there's that in the clause too. Like, whether you die or not, it's a program, it's mortgage for a reason. They will get all of the details from you. They will look at your life expectancy and all of those stuff. So it's going to be a project whereby even if you die, there's continuation for that particular project. So, but I feel like they don't have the idea, they don't get the package, the system very well. So it's hard for you to even convince them. And you know, we are always about making money. We see that, okay, this thing is, we are selling already. So nobody really wants to now divert energy and be convincing people to come and you get. So that's
you don't think that, maybe I don't particularly understand or know how mortgage system works, but do you think that there's a lot more profit on a mortgage property other than when you sell off? Logically, it doesn't seem so.
Yes.
Yeah, but then again, considering that it's over a long period of time, so I believe that there's going to be like interest rates, you know, maybe annually, or I don't know how it's calculated.
The way mortgage works, if it is a public or a government mortgage, government partners with a private individual.
Okay.
Right. So what that means is, don't worry, we'll pay on these people's behalf.
Yeah, then they'll pay instrumentally.
Yeah. So the developer gets his money with the government.
Outright.
You get.
I see.
So it's the government that will pay him, then the people pay the government back.
But do you think that if the government actually decides to, you know, pump in funds into mortgage, it will work in Nigeria?
It's not even a Nigerian thing, it's Africa thing.
Right.
Like the level of mortgage system in Africa is really, really low compared to other countries.
Yeah.
So it's an African problem, and then I think I'm not in the government, so I don't know how that is going to work.
I think this is just how it goes. Yeah. There's this particular mentality Africans have, or should I say Nigerians? They feel like when you talk about, okay, I'm in debt, I have debt to pay, they feel like it's a very bad thing. But even when we were still very young, we used to think about it, because even our moms and our dad would tell us that, no, but as we grow up, like we're growing up and we're seeing many things. Our heights were open to many things, so many sensitizations, so many people spoke to us. So we now realize that, how do you really think you want to grow without taking debt?
True, because it's actually there's bad. I mean, there are some debts that are just rubbish. You should not be in those debts, but there are good ones.
There is one of my brothers, Mr. Nola, Adetola Nola. He actually took out his time to explain why everybody needs to take debt to grow. He actually took his time, like 5 hours of his time. We still went to the land business with Nola some days ago. So he, over the years, he has always took out his time to explain why you really need to take this thing. because you need to grow your company.
True.
So that's
I
just
agree.
it. So I think if everybody is being sensitized on how mortgage works and the reason why they need to take it and everything that it entails, then people will not have the fear of in the next 25 years I will not start paying someone. In the next no. They will know how it works and the benefits of taking it. Outside of the country, so many people take mortgage. 90. Okay, I'm really not sure about the
statistics,
but so many of them.
I know what you mean.
They will tell you, I bought my house on mortgage.
Yeah.
Even some of their cars.
Even in Nigeria, at least I know one person that currently has a house on mortgage. He already lives there, but he took the house on mortgage anyway.
I'm trusting that person is actually like
he's still paying.
And he's just diverting his funds to. See, one thing these people don't know is I could get a lot of things done on mortgage.
True.
I could get my house, cars, everything.
Just be paying as
Just
you
be
can
paying
get
as
it.
you
Yeah.
get. So life is just easier. Like,
But then again, I if I'm going to speak from on the receiving end, I would think that maybe one of the reasons why people don't want to take a mortgage in Nigeria is because there's no sustainability of anything in this country. Yeah, because even income, how sustainable is your income? How sure are you that you're probably not going to lose your job, or you're not one sickness away from poverty and something just. So I think the what's the word now? The uncertainty, yes, the uncertainty of things also play a major, apart from the sensitization, right? Because truly, not many people understand how this thing works. That's for sure. But then again, even those who fully understand it, because of so many uncertainties, and then again, I don't know about statistics truly, but I think in this part of the world, we're not particularly rich takers. So how do you measure success in high-tech properties? At what point do you say high-tech properties is running a very successful business that is also sustainable?
Okay, so sales volume, the return on investment, and basically our client base. Yeah. So when we started, we had a number of plots in mind to sell for a certain period of time, and that was what we envisaged. And then we had a price projection as well for that period. So along the line, when we started, thank God for bright minds, people coming together to say, guys, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. So we made so much sales that we got a 100% return on investment at the 9th month.
Wow.
Yeah, and we had to even, along the line, we picked someone else's project that, let's partner with you to just divert sales to some other project, because we have our price projection and we cannot sell above the limited plots that we have. So we did that, and then when we saw that we can't do more than this for this person, we had to open an extension for this project, because we felt like we've outsold the number of plots we plan to sell. So we had to open an extension. So for us, the volume we made in 1 year is like enough for us to say, for a startup firm, in less than 1 year,
that's very impressive.
I need to collect my flowers and gardens. I take it to collect our garden, guys. And we also think like ahead, and then we feel like, okay, this is a project that we want to have. What's the problem? What's the worst case scenario? Possible problems that could come up and all of that. So we attempt all of those problems before we even embark on the project. So that has helped us to know how to navigate and get our results done per time, per project. So for your question, I would say our sales volume, magnificent. Our client base, guy,
client
for a startup,
satisfaction,
client satisfaction,
100%, as it should be,
100.
as it should actually be. I think that's very impressive. Trust me, I think that's very impressive. So, real estate cuts across different parts. Yeah, there are, developers. There are people who sell just lands. Some people sell houses and stuff. So, what exactly is your niche in the real estate industry? What exactly is the niche of high-tech properties in the real estate industry?
Okay, so the end result is to sell everything. To sell land, to sell houses and all those stuff. So we started out selling lands, and then we moved from there to developing the lands, like building apartments, condos, duplexes, what have you. And most importantly, all of those projects will be maintained, managed, and serviced by the company. So there's the tech arm of the company that is already undergoing production stage or developmental stage. Next year we roll it out, and then we run the two concurrently. So that's what we are trying to do.
So as of right now, what projects have you done or do you have running currently?
We have Ileri Residentials, we have Ileri Extension, and then we are looking to open tech estates before the end of the year.
So are they all in Ekpe, or you are looking to spread across different places?
So for now we are in Ekpe.
Just in Ekpe?
Yeah, sure.
So you guys are looking to expand eventually, right?
Yeah, we're expanding eventually.
Okay, all right. So what are the core values and the principles that guides iTech Properties? I mean, somehow you've mentioned some of them. Your customer, what's it called now, experience, ultimate, because really every business, not many businesses pay attention to customer experiences, because it's something I have realized over time. They just want to do their business anyhow it is. They don't mind how the experience of it, because an experience is very wholesome. If I don't get an awesome experience from you as a vendor, regardless of whatever it is you're selling or service you're providing, I don't think I want to come back. So what exactly is the core value and the principles that iTech Properties live by?
Okay, so we have three. I don't know, I'm sure there are many, but I can remember three. We have integrity, transparency, and relationship. I'm going to talk basically on that relationship. So when we started out, I mean, we are startups, we had problems getting people to trust us. You know, you guys are young, you can go away with my money and all of this stuff, so why should I trust you with my money? So
you can jackpot with my money.
So relationship was our core value, like, you know, let's get these people to relate, like let's relate with these people, let them trust us as a person before they could trust us as a brand and give us their money. So we did that, and then one of the highlights of that was a client bought like 5 or 6 plots. I can't remember when he bought it. So we were like, guy, first 1 acre. And then I told him, like, yeah, let's do something for this guy. So at the time, it was in, I think, Canada, I don't know, it was outside the country. So we're like, sir, when you are coming back to Nigeria, anytime you want to come to Nigeria, don't worry, we are hosting you. Like, I don't want to know, we're just going to host you for. So he called us. In fact, he called us like 3 months after, and he said, okay, guys, I'm coming to Nigeria, XYZ. So we're like, okay, no problem. So we got him 1 5-star hotel in VI. Guy, we literally told him that if you go to that place and you are not satisfied, tell us. And literally he went there and said, guys, I'm a pool person, so these people don't have pool. I mean, they have a very nice, serene environment, but I need a pool. So like, see, please, take us to a place that has pool.
Wow.
That very day, we changed the place for him. And then we even threw him a surprise dinner.
Nice, interesting.
And we were just doing that spa. This guy has even wowed us already. No, we just give him back. Guess what he did? He said he actually came to see his land. He does not have any business in Nigeria actually. So he just came to see what he bought. And then, unknown to us, we hosted him. And then he said he wanted to see both of us. And then he said, you know what, guys, you surprised me, and I'm going to do times 2 of what I did.
Wow.
I think he did extra 10
He did extra 10 plots.
Yeah. Wow, with outside of the
first 6 that I bought.
Extra 10 plots.
That's really nice.
So it was really, really, I mean, it was just like, and he told us specifically that he's a real estate investor. So he has done investment 10 years down to like, this is the first company that will actually take time to say, we are giving back to our clients. Like, even as small as pen, he has not received from any.
That's terrible.
Company. He said, so for us to think that, okay, we need to give back to these people, then, I mean, it's worth celebrating.
Right.
So far, we've always been trying to be relational, like, let's get to relate with these people, and he has helped us because he gave us referrals as well. So
that's like the fuel of most businesses, referrals, literally. Yeah, that's actually very impressive. That's very impressive. So I mean, for the fact that you, the owners, are young people, so is it also deliberate that majority, more like all your members of staff, are also young people? Is it deliberate, or is there a message you're trying to pass with that? You know.
And we have messages that are passing. It was the
Tell
young
me
and
about it.
vibrant.
Was it really deliberate? Will I say it's deliberate?
From my end, it's deliberate.
Oh, okay, confession
Me,
time.
I just feel like my feeling is okay. Whoever you want to hire, yeah, make sure you hire the person that is good for the job.
Yeah, true.
And I checked my circle, I checked my contact that I really don't need to post it online that we are looking for. I have them. So mine is just to like, okay, who amongst my contact is actually very good for the job? Just call the person Alpha. Oh yeah, let's do this. I don't really have old man as friends.
Right.
So obviously, whoever I want to bring in are going to be young minds like me.
But was it challenging though? Because young minds, for sales anyway, people who sell these days, most of them are really young because they're the ones that are agile enough to, move around, do the field work and stuff. But because you also said that getting your clients to trust you was a bit, because people can jackpot as far as I'm concerned. Do you get what I mean? So what was it really, really challenging getting your clients to trust you? Because were your ages a challenge? Yeah. was it a barrier, as to getting your clients, stuff like that?
You know what? Over time, what I've discovered is at first, people might not trust you in whatever you think you're doing. Yeah. Everybody, ask any entrepreneur, they will tell you at first they don't really trust me. But if you can at least wow them with their first transaction with you, just the experience we had with this man, at first he did not trust us. He said, no, I just do 5 plots with you guys. Sorry, 6 plots with you guys. So along the line, we started building that relationship with him. And he discovered, okay, these are people that I can actually trust with my money. And from there, he saw that we cannot jackpot anywhere. So he did extra 10 plots.
Dealing with young people in this Nigeria these days.
So it is like, it is not a new thing for people not to trust you at first.
Yeah.
Do you get yours is just to try and like build the trust, because trust is not what you just build within 1 minute to me. No, it's over time. So some people take like a year, some people take 10 years before they can build a relationship or build trust with people. Though ours doesn't take long. Once you deliver, they will trust you. So we deliver to them.
Yeah, I agree with you about trust, because I was speaking to a friend of mine who's the head of sales in another real estate company, and he said one of the things you should know as a real estate person is you need to sell trust, other than selling your land or house or whatever, because anybody can walk up to you and say, oh, I have this house for sale, how do I trust you? Anybody can have a house for sale as far as I'm concerned, but then you need to first of all sell trust, before you can reap the benefits of the trust. All right, so it's been a very fantastic conversation with you, Toba, and Bode. Honestly, I've had fun having this conversation with you guys. And iTech Property is a company that I am very sure that is going to go places, because you have started on a very fantastic note. Don't worry, I'm coming to buy a land in Ileri. I'm definitely coming to buy a land in Ileri.
See, I have been telling myself since a while now that everybody in Lagos must be a landlord. Let's start from here first. Everybody in Lagos must be a landlord. Because it is there already. Even if you don't want to pay outrightly, you can actually pay on installment. Just deposit 500.
I think the installment plan is even what makes it interesting. Yeah.
So okay, I listened to one video. Like I watched one video on Instagram. Then the guy was talking about people saying our forefathers did not buy Ikoyi then. But he now asked a question. He said, people are really not getting what the question is. Okay, we were saying then Ikoyi was around 100,000 naira. But were they able to afford it? Could they afford that 100,000 at that time? No, they cannot. So they came up with a plan for that anyway. So we know that, okay, so many people might feel like this thing is expensive. No, fingers are not equal. True. What you think is very affordable, might be expensive.
It's even very relative.
So that is why we came up with the installment. That pay a certain deposit, so that we as a company, we know that you are serious. You can't just tell me you want to buy one plot with your mouth. No.
Yeah. Okay. So, because installments can also be very tricky. Yeah, installments can be very tricky because when you have a client who has maybe paid say 500 or 550 for instance, and then want to spread the installment over 6 months, and then somewhere in the middle of the 6 months the client, something happens, person is not paying again. First, you've not handed the what's it called now, the documents of the property to the person anyway, or would you have handed documents of the person? Exactly. So you haven't handed the documents to the person, but maybe the person is then calling for a should I say reimbursements, considering that it's not
refund.
So because it's not
policy.
Pulling through. There's a refund policy. But is it 100%?
Where? Who does that? you use money Thailand.
That's why I asked the question, because I wanted to know if it's actually 100%.
There's a policy for that. There's a every company has their own refund policy.
Yes, I believe so. I believe so. All right, to round off this conversation, to any young person listening to you right now, what would you say to them concerning real estate? What advice would you give them? I mean about real estate. Would you advise them to get into real estate? If they are going to get into real estate, what do you think they should know, or they should stay away from? Stuff like that.
I don't do motivation, to be honest. Let them do it. I'm serious.
Just do it.
You have an idea already.
Yeah.
Something is in your head. Like our mentor will say, see, whatever you have in your head, 99 people have it.
True.
The difference between you and the 99 is
because you're doing
execution. So please, if it's in your head, do it. You can fall into troubles, get into problems, but please, you're learning on it already. I mean, if you surrounded yourself with right minds, good people that could run with your vision, trust me, you can only enter problem. You cannot run a loss.
True.
In this real estate business, that is one thing I know. You can run into problems, but you can never run at loss.
You can run into problems, but you can never run at loss. Anyway, it's been an exciting conversation. Ileri Residential is still for sale, guys. So please find your way to iTech Properties. You can follow them on Instagram. You can come to their office because we're live at Shango Tedo right now. So Ileri Residential is up for sale, and it's what now? 1.5 or how much?
The residential is 3.5.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The extension is 1.5 for 300 square meters.
What's the difference between the residential and the?
So the residential is like the front. Extension is like the back of the estate.
Oh, I see. Well, you've heard from the owners, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for staying with us. We had a very interesting conversation on this show. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.